I declare the 110th Convocation for the conferring of degrees and certificates in session. Please be seated. Chancellor Pearson, Dr. Wells, former Six Nations elected Chief Ava Hill, guests, graduating students, parents, and friends. Welcome to Brock University's Fall Convocation, a time of celebration for our students, families, and friends. On behalf of the Brock community, we begin this gathering by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, many of whom continue to live and work here today. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and acknowledging reminds us that our great standard of living is directly related to the resources and friendship of Indigenous people. I would like to invite Chancellor Pearson to the podium to deliver opening remarks.
Thank you, Madam Registrar. President Wells, former Six Nations elected Chief Ava Hill, honored guests, warm greetings to you, the graduates of Fall 2021, and to your proud families and friends. I am very happy to be with you today, even if we cannot see each other in person. This is my third convocation as Chancellor of Brock University. And I am here today, I admit, with mixed emotions, which I am sure that many of you share. I am both excited and sorry, glad and a little sad. I am finally here on campus sharing the excitement of a graduation ceremony and looking forward to admitting our graduates to your degrees. But sorry not to be able to shake each of your hands or even to bump a few elbows. I am glad to welcome you as new members of the alumni network of Brock University, but a little sad not to be able to congratulate you one-on-one. No doubt you, the graduates, are feeling some of this mix of relief and celebration and a little nostalgia. It's been such an astonishing and difficult 18 months since the pandemic restrictions began. You have gone through an experience that you would never have expected when you came to Brock, eager to be part of the university community. You have had to participate in and perform through unprecedented remote learning. You have been asked to do things that you could not have imagined. And you have been missed on campus in ways that you could not have predicted or wanted. Yet you admirably rose to meet these challenges. And you have arrived successfully at this graduation day. So it's a day of celebration, and it should be a special one. I honor every one of you for your hard work, for your resolve, and for your resilience. You have learned more about yourselves and your abilities than you might ever have under conditions of the pre-pandemic times. I applaud you. And I want to applaud your teachers and leaders who made such extraordinary efforts to help you and to help all in the university community navigate through the pandemic. They too have lived through times and experiences that they would never have believed, and they have stayed committed to creating the best possible conditions for you to learn and to move forward to your next steps. A year ago, I stood in the healing garden next to the white pine tree planted by my predecessor, Shirley Chichu, and I spoke about why I was excited to take on the role of Chancellor of this university. I said then that I believe that a university is one of the most important institutions in our society because it offers the young such opportunities to expand their minds, to build their skills, and to widen their expectations. Brock's 4 priorities as a university are ones that I am proud to support: offering a transformational university experience, building research capacity, enhancing the life and vitality of the region, and fostering a culture of inclusivity. I am convinced by what has happened in the past year that we need more than ever a university that gives its students the experiences and knowledge to see further, to collaborate with each other, and to engage with their communities more deeply and effectively. I believe this is what a university must do to remain relevant and to develop the skills of those who will live and work in this very challenging 21st century. And I celebrate the commitment of all in the Brock community who are working towards this end. Before I close, I want to say a word about today's extraordinary honorary degree recipient, former Six Nations elected chief, Ava Hill. Ava Hill, I congratulate you for your long service to your community, for your leadership in championing opportunity, especially for the young, and for the example that you are to so many young women. You have been a community leader, a political activist, a spokesperson for Indigenous issues and rights on an international level. Your courage, eloquence, integrity, and commitment to reconciliation are exceptional. I'm delighted that you are joining the Brock University community as a Doctor of Laws and as a new member of our Board of Trustees. And I would be honored to work with you and Brock's leaders to encourage Indigenous and non-Indigenous students to participate and contribute together through studies, sports, and culture to the university community. I speak my concluding words to you, the graduates. You are going out into a world still shaken and perhaps transformed by the pandemic and its consequences, by the growing challenge of the climate emergency, and by the need to create a more equitable and sustainable future. I am certain that your time at Brock has equipped you with the skills, the confidence, and the creativity to meet what is out there. Congratulations, I wish you well, and please come back to Brock whenever you can. We will be so happy to see you again, and next time in person. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lynn Wells. I'm the Interim President and Vice Chancellor of Brock University. Thank you so much for joining us today. Graduates, family, friends, and community members, I'm delighted to be speaking to you today at this exciting and celebratory moment in your lives. Of course, this is not a typical convocation, and I regret that we can't all be together today. But online or in person, today remains an incredibly important celebration of all that you have achieved during your time at Brock University. Each and every one of you should be immensely proud of what you've accomplished, especially given the unprecedented circumstances under which you've earned your degree. The last 2 years have been difficult to navigate, to say the least, but you persevered, and I want to sincerely congratulate you for what you have accomplished. Something as significant as earning a university degree is not done entirely alone. So I hope that as you reflect upon your time at Brock today, you will take a moment to thank those who supported you along the way. Family, friends, faculty, and staff, you are surrounded by a network of caring individuals who want you to succeed and who I know are watching today with a great deal of pride. I also want to recognize today's honorary degree recipient, the remarkable former Six Nations elected chief, Ava Hill. For decades, Ava Hill has been one of this country's strongest voices advocating for Indigenous rights. As an elected representative, a volunteer, or with the many boards and associations on which she is asked to serve, Ava Hill has dedicated her life to fighting for her community and advancing the ideals of truth and reconciliation. I am honored to have her here today to accept an honorary Doctor of Laws. Graduates, the world needs you now more than ever. The pandemic has presented us with some significant challenges, but it has also presented us with an opportunity to reshape society into something more equitable, more sustainable, more caring, and more just. You are graduating at a significant moment in our country's history, and we'll be looking to you, our leaders of the not-so-distant future, to help us do this. We face some difficult questions. How do we adapt to a changing climate? How do we ensure adequate housing for all? How do we meaningfully engage in finding truth and reconciliation with Indigenous communities across the country? These are complex issues, but they are not insurmountable. On the issue of reconciliation, there's much work ahead. I am, however, encouraged by recent events, including the way that Canadians observed the first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. At Brock, as in many places across this country, we mark the day by wearing orange shirts, but we also use the opportunity to show our solidarity with Indigenous communities while continuing the critical conversations we've been having about decolonization, indigenization, and reconciliation on our campus. A national tragedy has taken place over generations, but we are committed to the healing that is now needed. No matter what you studied, your time at Brock has prepared you for anything that may come your way. The critical thinking and analytical skills honed during your time here will serve you particularly well in the coming years. And I urge you to use them with the goal of becoming a more aware, more engaged, and more connected global citizen. Convocation signals a new beginning of sorts, but it's also a time of reflection. Reflect on what you've learned, what you've experienced, and who you've become during your time at Brock. The classes, the co-op work terms, the extracurriculars, even the exams have helped to develop you personally and intellectually, and I hope that you will take a moment today to consider the difference between who you were when you arrived at Brock and who you are today. Part of that transformation is almost certainly the result of your time spent here in Niagara, a caring, nurturing community to which Brock owes a tremendous debt of gratitude. It was thanks to the work of Niagara residents that Brock was founded in 1964, and the strong bond between the university and the community continues to this day through generous philanthropic support, innumerable community partnerships, and more. Convocation certainly doesn't signal the end of your relationship with Brock. Today, you join a diverse and engaged community of more than 112,000 graduates all over the globe who remain strongly connected to their university in a variety of ways. One of the best things about my job is being able to meet with alumni and learn about just how much they've grown since Convocation. I hope that you will come back often and that no matter where life takes you in the future, you will carry a bit of Brock University along with you. Graduates, I wish you the best of luck as you enter this new chapter in your life. Congratulations.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present former elected Chief Ava Hill to receive at your hands the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Ava, please rise.
Ava Hill, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and I grant you all the rights, privileges, and insignia appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Madam Chancellor, I take pleasure in calling on Dr. Ava Hill to deliver the convocation address.
Sego, Yohaji Nyangats. Yohaji is my traditional name. It means along the path. I'm a Mohawk Wolf Clan from Six Nations of the Grand River. And I'm so pleased to be here today to receive this honorary doctorate. I was completely surprised and at a loss for words when I received the call to inform me that I would be receiving this prestigious honor. I want to begin my address today by telling you a little bit about myself. I grew up on the Six Nations Indian Reserve and attended elementary school on the reserve and attended high school off the reserve in Brantford and in Hagersville. When I graduated from high school, I was not encouraged to continue my education in a post-secondary institution. In fact, no one told me that it was even a possibility that I could consider. It was basically get out and get a job. I had often thought about going back to school to get a degree, but with various job requirements and the demands of looking after our household, I just simply never found the time. So to now receive an honorary doctorate fulfills that gap that I have always regretted was left in my life. I am also extremely honored to join all of the graduates today, even though it has to be done virtually. Over the years, I have attended different convocations at various universities as a guest, and in 2007, I attended one of the convocations here at Brock. At that time, I sat in the crowd as a proud parent to witness my daughter receiving a Bachelor of Business Administration degree, as I am sure many parents and grandparents are sitting with their graduates today and are just as proud. I continue to be full of pride for her accomplishments in life thus far, and am in awe of the fine young lady that she has become. For me to now receive an honorary doctorate from the same university that she graduated from is something that I never ever thought would happen. As an Indigenous woman and leader, I also feel very privileged to receive this honorary doctorate during a time when more and more people are becoming aware of a dark part of the history of this country, which was when so many Indigenous children were forced into residential schools. I believe and feel that this is a clear demonstration of the commitment of Brock University to move forward with reconciliation, and I am happy to accept this doctorate on behalf of all Indigenous people. I'm also pleased to join the Board of Trustees at Brock University and to work with them together as we move forward on the path of reconciliation. During my elementary and high school years, I always considered myself to be a shy person and did not always speak up for myself. I also was never at the top of the class academically. What helped me get through high school was being on the basketball and volleyball teams. I mentioned earlier that I grew up on an Indian reserve. During that time, we were also referred to as Indians, and we attended federal Indian day schools. Later on, we were referred to as Aboriginals, and today we are referred to as Indigenous peoples. During those early school years, many of us were made to feel that we did not matter and that we were not important, and that we should not be proud to be Indian. This was because of the intergenerational effects of the residential schools whose mandate, as was stated by Duncan Campbell Scott, the Indian agent of the day, their mandate was to kill the Indian and the child. Many of our parents and grandparents were forced to attend those schools, and while they were there, they were not allowed to speak our own language or continue with our traditions and our ceremonies. And when they got out of those schools, they could not pass that knowledge on because it had been stolen from them. This has also had a huge impact on future generations who were not taught the language, the traditions, or the ceremonies. But our people are a proud and resilient people with a rich history and a rich culture, which more and more people are learning and practicing and in which we are happy to share. And over the years, I vowed to myself that I would not sit back anymore and miss out on opportunities because I lacked the confidence to speak up for myself. So I began to speak out, to ask questions, to listen and learn, and to also establish a huge network of friends, government officials, and other acquaintances from across the country whom I still rely on today. After many years working as a secretary and an administrative assistant and an executive assistant to many different male leaders, I decided to jump from the frying pan into the fire and run for the position of first an elected councillor and then as the elected chief in my community at Six Nations. As a woman leader, my job wasn't always easy. I had to work twice as hard to prove that I could do the same or even better than my male counterparts. I have had to endure sexist remarks, racism, put-downs, misogyny, and threats, and have been made to feel that I could not do the job. But I persevered with the help and support of my family, my partner, Cy, my daughter, Julie, who are here with me today, many friends and mentors that I crossed paths with over the years. And I always remembered what I was doing it for. I wanted my community to be healthy, safe, and sustainable. And everything I did and everything I continue to do today is for the people in my community and for all Indigenous people, but particularly for the youth that are watching and learning. A few years ago, I was asked to say a few words at the Hagersville Secondary School reunion, as I was then the elected chief of the Six Nations of the Grand River. I was happy to do so and told the crowd at that time that none of my high school teachers would ever believe that I would go on to become the elected chief of the largest populated First Nation in this country. Those same teachers would probably be very surprised to learn that I am now standing here and receiving an honorary doctorate from Brock University. I wanted to tell you a bit of my story, which has led me to be standing in front of you today and being given the opportunity to address you as you receive your individual degrees. And I hope that my words will provide you with some encouragement, hope, and inspiration as you begin the next chapter of your life. But your education does not end here. As you move on to the next ventures in your life, I urge you to continue to learn, to take opportunities that are presented to you, to meet new people, and to set new goals. I particularly encourage you to learn more about the rich history, culture, and traditions of the Indigenous peoples and about all the cultures in the world. Over 6 years ago, the truth of the residential schools was told by the survivors who attended those schools when they told their stories to the commissioners of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Today and every day, we remember those survivors who did not come home and those who are no longer with us. And we lift up those who had that determination and courage to tell their stories to those commissioners and begin their healing journey. It is because of their courage that we find more and more people wanting to learn the truth of the residential schools and wanting to take steps towards reconciliation. The Truth and Reconciliation's final report stated that to some, reconciliation is about coming to terms with what has happened in the past and establishing a respectful and healthy relationship among all people. But for any type of reconciliation to happen, there must be awareness of the past, acknowledgement of the harm that has been inflicted, atonement for the causes, and action to change behaviors, understandings, and attitudes. If we all move forward in the spirit of reconciliation and learn more about each other's culture, then perhaps we can begin to eliminate the racism and the stereotyping that exists around the world today. Because to build for the future, we must learn from the past. As the future leaders in this country, I urge all of you to strive to make those changes that are necessary to make the world a better place. Reconciliation must inspire all of us, Indigenous, non-Indigenous, all cultures, to transform society so that our children and grandchildren can live together in dignity, peace, and prosperity on these lands that we now share. I also encourage you to dream big and work hard. Surround yourself with supportive people and good friends who can help you achieve your dreams, and network every chance you get. I always say that networking makes the world go around. Don't be afraid to speak up and ask questions, and demonstrate that you have the ability to do great things. You are to be commended and have the right to be proud of your accomplishments for achieving your degrees during the global pandemic that we have all had to deal with for the past 18 months. You have the knowledge, the capability, the determination, and the energy to fulfill the roles of the new leadership in this country. Be grateful to those who have helped you on your journey thus far, your parents, your families, your teachers, and your friends. And don't ever forget that you are important and that you matter. The call across the country during the recent National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, which is the call that we continue to make every day, is that every child matters. Don't ever forget that. Every child matters, and you all matter. You did it. You have your degree, so cheer, celebrate, and look to the future with hope and inspiration. But remember to take care of yourself, stay healthy, stay safe, have fun, and be happy. Nyowa.
Graduates, with the degrees and certificates about to be conferred upon you, there come certain expectations that you will continue sincerely in the pursuit of learning and truth, and that as far as in you lies, you will promote the interests and welfare of your university. Madam Chancellor, as the various candidates are aware of the responsibilities that accompany their degrees and certificates, and as they have succeeded and completed the courses of studies prescribed by Senate, I request that you confer upon them their degrees and certificates in absentia.
I admit them to their various degrees and certificates in absentia.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor. Graduates, we're happy now to bring congratulatory messages via video from both your undergraduate and graduate student leaders.
Dear class of 2021, this might not be the graduation we expected when we entered our first class, and our last year at university has been anything but normal. Despite the circumstances, you still made it. In the face of uncertainty, you adapted to learning in a virtual setting. You helped out your community when they needed it the most, and truly understood the value of overcoming adversity together. As you venture out into the world, there are thousands of your fellow graduates right behind you, and an entire university that has prepared you for this day. As you decide to pursue your professions, further your education, or choose to take some well-deserved time for yourself, your experiences at Brock University will shape the rest of your lives. We're proud of your persistence, your willingness to take on life's challenges, and you should be too. Your undergraduate degree might have come to an end, but the connections you've made within the community at Brock U will carry on. This is just the beginning of your journey, and we can't wait to see the mark you leave on the world.
Congratulations, graduating students of 2021, and soon to be alumni of Brock University. I join you in this moment of great anticipation of great things to come. I know that this moment you've built years towards doesn't look quite like what you expected, and that's okay, because the impact of what you will go on to do will not be lessened by the experiences of the virtual pandemic. If anything, it will actually be heightened. You have learned incredible things, built incredible skills, and are the catalysts of change that the world needs right now. Though you might not know it yet, your careers will go on to impact the world in countless ways. And I know myself, as well as all of us here at the university, are very excited to watch along as those moments unfold. Think to yourselves, you are the change makers of the future, and we look to follow along with each and every change that you make. The experiences you've had here at this university, especially over the last couple of years as we've worked our way through a generational change with this pandemic, are ones that have better prepared you for a future that is yet unknown, more so than any graduates that have come forward before you. I wish you all of the best and look forward to seeing what you achieve in the future. Take care.
Today, you have participated in celebrating the graduation of our students and our new alumni. Each of our graduates has studied hard and completed the degree requirements here at Brock University. Today is also a celebration of your support for them, for you too have played a critical role in assisting and guiding them. Their success is indeed your success. All of you have succeeded in contributing to the academic accomplishments of our graduates, but you've done much more. You've also contributed to post-secondary education here in the Niagara region, across the province, and in our country. Together, you have helped achieve the dreams of those who helped establish Brock in 1964. Our students, our graduates, have today become alumni, and I look forward to seeing their involvement and contributions to the university in the future and the vitality of the world in which we all share. At this time, I'd like to welcome Katie Gatta, a Brock alumna, to conclude today's ceremony with the singing of O Canada. Please rise.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
As we bring today's convocation ceremony to a close, we would like to reiterate our deepest congratulations to all of our graduating students. These ceremonies will conclude with the recognition of the names of our graduates and subsequent degrees following this message. I invite all of our graduates, their families, friends, and the Brock community to our convocation portal, where the celebration continues with congratulatory messages and a virtual celebration wall. Each student will have received a personalized email invitation to the portal this morning in their Brock email account. We are happy to share in your graduation day and are proud and grateful for the success that you've achieved here at Brock University. We wish you well in your future endeavors and hope that you will look ahead to the future with encouragement and optimism that your experiences at Brock will prepare you well for the adventures that lie ahead for each of you. Surgate. I declare this convocation dismissed. Please continue watching to see the names of our class of 2021 graduates. Thank you.